Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. I'm Howie Sheriff from You Call This Yoga, broadcasting from the Cypress of Raleigh. Good morning, residents here too, and any other time you view this video. The concepts I'd love to share today are related to some of my recent experiences with adjusting in life due to loss of family member. In that process, I've become, I would say, a little more wonky than usual. So in that regard, it's important for myself to develop a greater sense of stability to the degree I can, using the tools that are available. Fortunately for yoga, breathing, posturing, and open-heartedness are a good start. Also remembering that many things are transitional, and also our thoughts aren't always accurate. I'll just leave it at that. Let's start today by establishing some good footwork and grounding. If you're standing, you could even have a chair nearby, which I encourage. Cushions for your tush as well as your back. And if you're going to be standing, those are good starts. If you're seated, you might need more than one cushion per area. And I'll turn the chair sideways and give you some side views of what I mean. We've reviewed in the past about the feet and knees 2 fists apart. So let's establish that. I have my elbows in by my side, my hands dropping downward. My hands can go actually away from center so that I have this nice reaching it outward through my fingertips. So I have downward through my legs and downward through my arms. Similarly, when you're seated, I like my hips higher than my knees, and the idea that I can let my arms drape outside of the chair arms. So therefore, my elbows are narrower from center than my hands. This is helpful for me because in that position, my shoulder blades can start to engage centrally and downward, which invites the potential of lifting my chest. Why don't you try that? Whether you're standing or seated, it could be a very similar mode. Consider that the feet are under the knees, the toes are relatively pointing forward. See, I'm double checking. Good. So this is a very essential element, sitting mountain, standing mountain. Now there's also a merit to this activation of the shoulder blades because for balance, it's not only stabilizing legs, it's also stabilizing the head. If your head's out of position, you may not be able to keep balance. Similarly, if you're not feeling well and your head's out of position, it's hard to stay together. So we're going to practice that idea of breathing and activating the inner thighs and your inner shoulder blades. Good. So there's 4 pair of muscles going on to stabilize. Good. Keep breathing. Wonderful. Go at your own pace. There's nothing that is more important for the moment. Maybe. Good. Play with that. One more. Good. Settle and rest. In some of these poses, they've traditionally had English titles that had the word warrior there. And it's been pointed out that not everything has to have a warrior element in it. So we'll call these citizen poses. And we'll be going through citizen 1, 2, and 3. First, we're starting in mountain. All right, so we've got this element going. Then I'd like you to notice your feet, whether you're standing or seated. Consider that if you give a little more intention of your inner parts of your feet, your big toe pad and your heel, then that might also add to the activation of your inner thighs. Good. So whether you're seated or standing, see if you can activate the bottom of your feet so that it gives a little more pressure in the inner halves. Try that. Now we have a chain developing all the way from the foot to the thigh to the shoulder blades. Beautiful. This is an important element. If you're standing, you might even consider standing by the wall and feel how your shoulder blades rotate and how your body might extend as you draw the feet down. Seated again. Good. I mentioned 3 different poses. We'll develop elements of each of them because they get more complex as we go. You don't have to force anything. It's all an explore. Being successful in a fraction of something, I believe, has greater value than straining to reach something that might be inaccessible. Good. So what are these elements? Well, in Citizen 1, it's an opening and lifting of the heart, practically a back bend. Practically, I say. Anything can feel like a back bend when it's out of your usual mode. Therefore, it's most important to be upright and let those shoulder blades drop down and back. That's the fulcrum or the center of rotation. We're not trying to strain the shoulders. I have very tight shoulders, and so therefore when I'm lifting by drawing my shoulder blades down and exhaling and releasing. Similarly, standing, I'm not going particularly high, let alone I'm a little bit forward of my chest. Therefore, I'm not over activating elements of my shoulders. I'm using my thumbs as the leading edge, and I'm holding the space passively with my hands. Good. See if as you come up with the arms gently, that whichever arm is more limited invites the one that's freer. See, I can go further on this one. But the idea is see if they can go in simpatico. And for me, I have to activate my shoulder blades a little bit more just to get to this point, which is just fine for me today. I'm not what I used to be. We're giving up a little bit each day, and we're retaining something else. So let's see what we can retain and explore. Good. One more of these. Good. Finish and come back and rest. Roll around, do whatever you might feel better with. Now, what about the leg element of Citizen 1? I'm a big proponent when we do poses in yoga and walking or sitting that we try to maintain this hip width apart. Some programs like straddling, like a tightrope, I don't necessarily agree with that. Find what's safe for you. When we do this pose, there's a step forward and a knee bend in the front and a straightening of the back leg. You see, when I return, I might be still 2 fists apart. Turning sideways, I'll step and lunge, bend the front knee. However, the knee doesn't go past the ankle. My feet have a little internal intention, and my back leg turns out of here. If you're seated, you say, well, how do I do this, Howie? Well, part of the virtue of these cushions is that you can raise the rump a little, turn sideways, and practice stepping back. Notice I have my heel raised here, and I'm orienting myself at about 45 degrees or so from center. Good. That could be plenty. Ugh. Don't want to activate disrupted hips. And so I'll reach off screen and get a third pillow. And I say, wow, that's some throne you got there. Well, it's your throne. You're allowed. See, I'm going back this way, toes down, heel up, and I can extend my belly and diaphragm upward. Good. Try that for a little bit on the chair. You might swivel a little bit, just get the legs in position, bring it up to your heart, and breathe. Swivel back the other way. Good. Just getting the base warmed up is valuable. Similarly, standing, you might step forward, lunge, check your spacing, and come back. Switch side, lunge, little lean, open the front, strong back leg, step it back. Notice if your spacing stays consistent. You might think of going a little wider because we may not be used to that sort of intention. Good, keep going. One more on each side. And are you breathing? Consciously, I mean, as opposed to unconsciously. Of course you're breathing. Good, finish and rest. Shake it out. Now the idea of this being a back bend comes from lifting the front of the body, intending to have the arms oriented backwards, and keeping the elbows in a little bit, holding the space, and extending. That extending comes from strong legs. So notice I'm on my little tower here. Make sure you're safe and stable. Turn sideways or diagonally. Good. Then inhale, and I'm going to step this leg back a little bit. Make sure I'm steady. And then exhale and lift. Good. I'm trying to rotate my elbows in, hold the space, and breathe. I'm putting a lot of effort into these legs and breathing. Good. Keep breathing. Notice how this feels. You can always come out of it and come down and rest. Similarly, standing. Get my positioning. Inhale, step back. And exhale, lift. Hold the space and breathe at your own pace. See if you can tuck those elbows in. Activate the shoulder blades. My hands are wider than my elbows. Good, then I will sweep, step forward, stick the landing, shake it out. We'll switch sides. Stepping it back, get the stabilization, feel the space. Exhale, lift. See, my arms are in front of my chest because that's all my shoulders will allow. And that's fine. So there's integrity, extension, grounding, and safety. Good. Try that a couple more times. See if you can relax your shoulders as you go. Good. Let those shoulder blades drape down over your back ribs. Keep breathing. Good. You're marvelous. You're a good citizen one. How's those inner aspects of your feet? Are they activated and awake? Oh yeah. One more breath, citizens. Good. Sweep, step, and return. How about that? That was citizen one. There's a one, there might be a two, or even more. We're up to citizen two. You've seen these poses where people bring their hands to heart and have this big bend in the the wrist, and the elbow goes out pretty prominently. What winds up to me is that this area gets pretty crunched up. Therefore, I like the idea that my elbows are down and in against my ribs. My wrist is a little softer, and I actually make a little cupping in my hands. There's still a lot of contact with my palm pad, thumb pad, finger pads, and fingertips. However, my wrists are softer, and for me, that allows my chest to expand forward. So therefore, as I'm separating, you can see my fingers are like a tail, and I'm leading with my wrists and stabilizing from my shoulder blades. Good. And then I could bring it back. I'm minimizing any strain in my shoulders. It's as if they're magnetically opposed, and then they're magnetically the same. Here, they're opposed and they're drawing together. Here, magnetic, similar ones draw apart. Good. Breathe with that. I'm going to stand. See if you can engage those inner thighs, inner feet a little more. Open here. Avoid leading with the fingers. The fingers are the tail. The wrists are the lead. Good. Couple more. Go with the breath. Beautiful. Great. Then, this pose is a balancing of the past, present, and future. How profound, especially in the presence of loss. Where are we now? Where were we? And what's the future going to be like? So therefore, this nice centering is very helpful. Whether you're seated or standing, consider the elbows are in. I'm opening the hands wider. I'm making a little gooseneck. See how my wrists are not collapsed. And then I'm extending outward by drawing my shoulder blades together. If I bend my elbows, you can see I'm at heart height. That could be different than what some people practice, which is having an arm up or down, or however, I'm looking for a 5-pointed star. Good. So I'm going to inhale and open. Good. Try that a couple times, leading with the wrists, and then converting over to the fingertips. One more. Good. And are these areas soft? Let your shoulder blades drop. Good. As if you were surfing. Speaking of which, the next element is the legs. So I'm going to stay on my 3-pillow prop. We riding the wave. See how I'm sinking? Good. In Warrior 2, in this particular pose, I'm going to turn one leg out and keep one leg moderately forward, but it's still going out at an angle. So it's a big turnout of one leg. This one has a little turn. Therefore, for here, I'm going to open my heart on the inhale. And if I was standing, I would step into the pose. Here, I just exhale into the pose. And just breathe here and notice how these little wings may hang out there. One may drop, one may come up, or vice versa. You might even consider the palms up. I'd like a strong leading leg. Good. Strong leading leg. This one. Try that for a couple breaths. You can come out of it at any point. Standing, first I'll do sideways. We're coming, inhale. I'm engaging my shoulder blades. I'm establishing my arms. And then I'm going to rotate my hip, lean back just a hair, and exhale, lunge. Then I'm in a side orientation. Good. I'm sensing, what is this trailing arm doing? Because I can't really turn my head so much to the right. But I'm keeping my shoulder blade engaged and breathing. I can flip the palms up, which activates the shoulder blades a little more. And I'm breathing here. Stable in the present, engaged in the past, with a view in the future. Keep breathing, then feel free to bring it up and step it back. Similarly, for the other side, start in your mountain. I'd like to open the heart first, set out the goose, straighten it out. Good. Orient, and on the exhale, step and lunge, back leg straight, knee over the ankle, breathe and smile. Notice how this side goes, and then you can flip the palms up if you need. I'm going to sit down and demonstrate seated again, and we'll go through that element of citizen 2 again. Legs ready, heart open, inhale, shoulder blades, soft wrists, extend, exhale, rotate towards the leading side. Keep breathing, soft shoulders, softer, palms up, smile, reflect, good, bring it back, return, rest, repeat, orient the lead, get the back, open the heart, extend, rotate at the trunk, orient so that maybe your focus is out the same plane as this leading leg. Keep breathing, lift the heart, smile occasionally. You're doing marvelously. Good. Keep breathing. Bring it back. Standing. I'll come towards the camera. Be careful. I'll be larger than life. So I'm here. I'm going to inhale and open, turn, lean, lunge, step, and ground. Keep breathing. You're doing marvelously. Hopefully my arms are in the same plane that you're viewing, as well as my hips. My head is centered over my body. Helps to have plates. I can't go very far. Flip it over. Good. Then bring it back. Other side. Hands to heart, soft wrists. Inhale, just float it open. Don't puncture the picture. Lean back. Step into the lunge. Good. Orient the knee. Good. Keep breathing. Strong back leg. Keep smiling. Doing beautifully. Seated folks, keep practicing. Wonderful. Sweep and rest. Let's take a little water break. If you find that you're getting dry or even not, please stay hydrated. It's going to be very hot today. And even so, whether it's hot or not, it's good to stay hydrated. All right, we're building some stability, body awareness, improved breath capacity, etc., etc. How about that citizen 3? What makes that more complicated? This is a balance pose, and that doesn't mean that you have to be in danger, but it builds individual leg strength, and that's important because we may not be moving evenly all the time, let alone if something seems out of sort, your world gets rocked. How do you recalibrate and start again? Therefore, I'd like you to think of, if you're seated, using the chair arms initially, and I like to bring my arms back. See how they're creeping back? I'm holding the chair arm as it converts to the leg. Good. Then I'm just lifting this front leg and breathing. Good. My heel is just off the ground, but I'm activating this standing leg and just practice giving it more intention than it usually receives because the other leg is off. But I'm holding the chair gently with my fingertips so that I don't tip any way. Good. Let's bring that back. Check your landing. Release your arms. Stabilize. And this time lift the other leg. And then this is your standing stable leg. And proceed with that. Good. So folks that are seated, continue to practice that. Folks that are standing, consider having some sort of stabilizer, whether it be a very sturdy chair or a countertop. Come up, lift the belly, let the shoulder blades drop. Good. I'm going to be using my outside leg for the standing leg. That gives me room to have a stabilizer here and a stabilizer here. Good. See if you can stand and breathe. Let your shoulders relax. And then potentially just come up to one fingertip. Beautiful. Still stay with the fingertip. And then see if you can sweep gently the lifted leg behind you. Good. Keep breathing. Beautiful. Chest is up and forward. Finished. Come on. Shake it out. Folks seated, continue still. Standing over here. I've switched sides. I've come to my mountain. Good. Gentle engagement of the chair. Avoid gripping. Activating this leg, the outside leg. Relax the shoulders down. Bring the foot forward. See if you can activate the standing leg a little more. Keep breathing. Good. Feel what's safe. Sweep the lifted leg behind you. See if you can minimize any forward tipping. Beautiful. One more breath. Return, shift, and sweep. Shake it out. So standing, folks, please repeat a couple more times because that could be plenty. Just practicing activating one leg while the other is lifted and your chest is elevated is beautiful. Getting back to the first part, seated folks, I have my hands here. I've lifted one leg. Good. I'm breathing, I'm breathing, I'm breathing. Then I'd like the idea that I'm lifting the opposite arm of the leg. Keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing. Beautiful. That's magnificent. Bring it down. Shake it out. Other side for your arms if you need. This leg will be the active one. I've lifted and I'm breathing one leg. Beautiful. It's okay to hold the chair. Just be careful. Good. Keep practicing that alternating element. All right. Standing, folks. Outside leg is your standing leg. Let's lift the chest first. Try to have the ears in line with the shoulders. Beautiful. Let's inhale, and let's bring the front foot forward, the inner foot. Good. And exhale, bring it back and point the toes. Beautiful. Bend the standing knee just a hair. See how that feels. Good. Breathe here and see if you could practice there. Come up to the finger. Good. Then when you're there, see if you can lift the arm and tip just a little bit. And breathe. I'm going to move away from the wall a little bit. And actually, I'll turn sideways. So I'm here. Elevated front. Good. Transfer the weight. Avoid excess gripping. Bring the foot forward. Activate the bun because it is bun day. Good. Bring it back. Point and lift. Bend the front knee. Hinge a little. Keep lifting the back foot gently without bending the knee, having the hand extended in front of you. Practice this side. This is plenty. You're putting a lot of weight on the standing leg. Good. Then when finished, straighten up and land. Look at that spacing. You can't buy that at any store. All right, other side. Strong outside leg. Lift the chest. Activate the standing bun. Bring the foot forward. Gently sweep it back. Bend the front knee. Soft grip with the hand on the chair. Extend forward and reach through the fingers and out back through the toes. Keep breathing here, building your capacity, noticing the difference from one side to the other. Beautiful. And inhale, bring it back, and exhale, settle. Wonderful. Try a couple more of those. Haven't forgot about you seated, folks. Let's see what seems safe. I like the idea of my palm up. See, when I'm gripping, my shoulder rolls forward. So if you have the capacity to drape the back of your hand on the chair top or the counter, then when I'm activating, my shoulder blades are activated too, and it stabilizes my head. I'm really okay for today, because we're not in the same room, for you to have this supported Citizen 3 pose. Good. I think because I'm not present with you, literally in the same room, that there is room for danger. Let's get the bun activated. Good. Come in. See how my hand is palm up on the chair. Maybe you could see it, but trust it is. Keep breathing. Activate the standing leg bun. Intention on the inner half of the foot, inner half of the thigh. Marvelous. Bring it back. Shake it out. All right, let's rotate the chair back. Let's see, I think I'll just go with 2 cushies this time. See how that goes. All right, so we've had citizens 1, 2, and 3. What's next? Well, we don't have a 4, but we have a arcing or dancing citizen. Now, in this regard, it's arcing, but this might not be safe for a seated person. So I'd like you to think of the idea that you're stabilizing strongly on one side, and in this case, it'll be my left arm. And when I'm arcing from my waist. So my left waist is lifting up and in. I'll show you what I mean. See how I'm just tipping over, but my head is more or less straight with my shoulders. I'm tipping at the side. So there's a lot of stability being drawn from the leading side, but also I'm activating this trailing leg and bringing my bun into it. Oh, my right bun is activated. And then I'm tipping. So I'm lifting here, stabilizing here. Good. See how my palms are up, which keeps my shoulder blades engaged, and then I can come back. That's while seated. However, if you have the capacity to come into this citizen 2 kind of pose, have your hand, I like palm forward, opens my chest, and then I could come into a slight arcing position. And it's a similar mode. I can't raise my hand very high, but my shoulder blade is engaged, drawing inward, my bun is strongly engaged, and I'm lifting from this waist. So the idea is lifting from the waist is the main focus. Good. And then the more I lift from that waist, the more capacity I have to arc here. Let's see what it looks like on the other side. So just rotate this foot out, this foot in, palm on the thigh. Good. Activating, coming into the pose. And I could tell that I lift differently on my right side than my left. I just feel the muscles are different. The anatomy is different. My heart's on the left. I have longer, broader lung area on the right. Good. So keep breathing. And coming into the pose, avoid collapsing the head, and come up. Good. Try that on the other side. And then for those that are seated, we'll do that again. See, I'm lifting. See how I rise up first? Stabilize, stabilize, arc. I'm drawing down strongly through my trailing side. Trailing side draws down. Trailing side draws down. Avoid dropping your head below your heart. Good. It's just about the waist. Activating this element with extension. Good. How about the other side? Lift and arc, 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 arc. That's waking up the belly. Good. Strong bun. Good. Inhale. Bring it up. Shake it out. Play a little more with that. Similarly, got my footing, got my orientation, my stabilization, lifting the belly as I exhale, and then the arm can trail. Good. This is plenty for me. It's called Dancing Citizen. Bring it back, rotate it, stabilize it, come into it, lift the belly, at least from the side. Good. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Doing wonderfully. Good. Inhale. Bring it back. And take a landing. Very gentle. Good. So those are the elements of 1, 2, 3, and dancing. Let's put them all together for a little flow. I'll do the seated first, and then the standing second. All right, let's see if I remember. All right, turn diagonally, bring the leg back, up on the ball of the foot, shoulder blades down and back, inhale up. Take a breath. Good. Keep breathing. Heart is open. The drawdown of the shoulder blades and back, and the orientation of the thumbs and the elbows in gives that sense of whoa. Good. Release that. Come back to center. Hands to heart. Good. Let's turn this Leading leg out strongly. This one stays a little bit. Inhale, open, extend, and exhale, turn the trunk in the direction of the leading leg. Good. That's plenty. Let the shoulder blades soften together. Keep breathing. Good, good, good. Bring it back. Bring it out. Good. Next, number 3, we're going to lift a leg, breathe, lift an arm, breathe. Opposites. Good. Strong bun on the supporting leg. Beautiful. One more breath. Bring it down. Next, dancer, lifting from the waist, arcing. Good. Stabilizing. Can lift a little of the arm. The head stays neutral. Keep breathing. Beautiful. Bring it back. All right, seated folks, see if you can remember and do the other side. Standing folks, let's see how we can orient this. All right. Citizen 1, we do is step and lift. See how the opposites have activated. Good. Trailing, strong bun. Breathe. Can bring the other arm up. How's my spacing? Good. And lift the belly, breathe. Hold the shoulder blades together gently. Good. And sweep and step back or forward. Wonderful. Next, I'm going to shift a little bit diagonally. Inhale, open. Exhale, lean a little and lunge. Good. Breathe here steadily. Little smile occasionally. Feel your grounding. Notice if your toes are gripping and release if they are. Nice inner rotation, activation. Beautiful. Then bring it back and rest. Number 3, strong outside leg. Inhale a little forward. Exhale, bring it back. Good. Bend the elbow here. Extend the arm. Lift the heel and breathe. Beautiful. Bend the front knee a little. Keep breathing. Strong bun. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Good. Bring it back and rest. Then, dancing citizen. Think of trying to arc over this chair back. Then I'm up. I'm shifting. My hand is a stabilizer here, and I can just go sideways. I'm just going to turn my hand forward on the chair back and breathe. Good. Strong standing legs. Beautiful. Bring it back and shake it out. So there's a lot of trunk and shoulder blade and thigh stimulation. All right, so how do these citizens wind down at the end? Well, there's been a lot of activation, and we can use our hands as calming agents to settle by bringing these fingertips together one at a time. See how I have a nice arced pattern in my palms, soft wrists. Elbows are back by my side, and I'm just going to let them settle onto the tops of my thighs. Standing folks, consider have a seat. And then I'm going to feel with the back of my hands, the tops of my thighs, and see if I can bring my elbows in, open my heart, and breathe. Just sitting up tall is an application of what we've been warming up. consider that you can draw down through your wrists into your thighs, draw your shoulder blades together, and lift your chest. And then consider bringing the thumbs and the pinkies to touch each other. Good. Breathe a couple moments there. Notice how that feels. There may be a difference from one side to the other. And then let them go. Wiggle, and then consider, can you bring your thumb and your ring finger together without the whole hand going cuckoo? Good. See if you can breathe into that mode. Notice how this feels on your body and within it. Then release that, wiggle. See if you can ground the hands and then focus on the middle and thumb. See if you can draw those ring finger down. Ooh, ooh. We don't use those muscles very often. Keep breathing. Release the middle. Let's invite the index and the thumb. Ah, that's like dessert. Keep breathing, a couple more breaths. Lovely. Let those go. So those are 4 different pairs. Then I like to do the middle and ring finger. Wolf pack. Good. Keep breathing here. How does that feel? My shoulders and my shoulder blades are very aware of what's going on. Then let's do the opposite. Let's take the pinky and the index and the thumb. For me, I have to actually maneuver them. And maneuver them. So that feels very unusual. So for me, I'll take those 2 pair and touch them, and then they'll have a place to gently engage and open. And I'll breathe with these fingers engaged. So having some grounding and stability, even in the hand positioning, can cascade through the whole body. So those are 6 of at least a dozen plus fingertip positionings. We've explored them in the past, and you can learn more independently. So that was our little grounding through the hands. Let's just take another couple of breaths and notice how it feels. Appreciate what's around us. And we'll look forward to other experiences with you on the You Call This Yoga website. We have Learn Yoga. On our YouTube channel, we have many videos. And on Facebook, we have Yoga Feast. So join us. Look forward to being again with you soon. Thank you for practicing. Namaste.